Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are going really global. Really global. We're talking about critical materials.
Oh, yeah.
Things that impact all of us, no matter where you're listening from.
Absolutely.
And the really cool part is how biotechnology is becoming this,
Big player.
a major player
Yeah.
in how we source and secure these materials.
It really is fascinating. It's a total shift.
Okay.
For a long time, we've relied on traditional mining, but that obviously comes with,
Right. Downsides?
its own set of challenges.
Like environmental impact.
Yep.
Supply chain vulnerabilities, even political tensions.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's break this down a bit.
Yeah.
What makes these materials so critical?
Right.
We hear about lithium for batteries,
Right.
rare earth elements for electronics. Help us understand the bigger picture.
Sure. Critical materials are basically elements that are essential for modern tech and industry.
Okay.
But their supply chains are, they're vulnerable to disruption. So you've got cobalt for EV batteries, platinum for catalytic converters,
Okay.
and those rare earth elements you mentioned, those are in everything.
Wow.
Smartphones to one turbine.
So it's not just one material.
Yeah.
It's this whole
Yeah.
web of elements that we just rely on.
And you mention supply chain vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
That sounds like a problem.
Well, it is a problem.
Yeah.
And a great example is China's dominance in the rare earth element market.
Oh, wow.
They control something like 85% of the global refining capacity.
That's huge.
It is. It raises concerns about bottlenecks,
Yeah.
geopolitical leverage, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if,
Yeah.
if there were trade disputes,
Exactly.
political tensions.
Well, we actually saw this recently when the CCP imposed those export restrictions on gallium and germanium,
Oh, right.
both super vital for semiconductors.
And those are in all of our devices.
Exactly. Chips are in everything these days.
Okay.
And it definitely caused some issues in global markets. So this isn't just some kind of theoretical thing.
It's a real problem.
It has consequences.
Yep.
Which leads us to
Yeah.
the exciting part, how biotech is coming in to solve these problems.
Yeah. It's definitely a promising development. Biotech offers so many different solutions for sourcing and extracting and even recycling.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so give us the rundown.
Okay, so one really cool approach is phytomining, which is basically using plants to extract metals from the soil.
So instead of digging these
Huge mines.
these giant mines, we're just growing plants.
Well, sounds like sci-fi.
I know, right? It sounds futuristic, but it's a real thing.
Wow.
Take nickel, for example.
Yeah.
Researchers have gotten nickel juice from plant leaves
Plant juice.
with nickel concentrations as high as 25%.
25%.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are the advantages to this?
Well, for one thing, phytomining can be done in areas that wouldn't work for traditional mining.
Oh, okay.
So it really cuts down on the environmental impact, plus just a more gentle approach overall. Yeah, no giant holes in the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's better for the planet and a more sustainable way to get these materials.
What other solutions are in the works?
Well, another interesting area is biomining, which is using microorganisms to extract elements from ore or even waste.
Oh, cool.
And this is really promising for rare earth elements because the
Yes.
traditional processing is,
It's a lot.
it's complex and energy intensive, and it uses a lot of chemicals,
So these little microbes are like
tiny miners.
Yeah.
Haha. Yeah. They produce acids that leach out the rare earth elements from the ore, so it's much simpler and more eco-friendly.
that's amazing. And it seems like these microbes could help with the whole...
E-waste problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Imagine using bioreactors full of these microbes to get valuable elements from old computer chips and phones.
Yeah.
It could totally change e-waste recycling.
And we recover those elements.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it really highlights the potential for a circular economy.
Right, like we're not just taking stuff out.
Yeah.
We're reusing it.
We're finding ways to reuse and recycle.
And speaking of global impact,
Yeah.
I was just thinking,
Mhm.
we've got listeners from over 50 countries,
It's true.
each with their own challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
How can biotech help to kind of level the playing field?
It's a great question. By developing these bio-based solutions, nations can reduce reliance on imports,
Okay.
create more resilient supply chains.
So they're not dependent on.
Exactly. It's about empowering countries to control their resources.
That's a good point. It's not just about the economics of it.
No.
It's about security and sovereignty.
Absolutely.
Right.
If a country can produce its own materials, it's less vulnerable.
For sure. And this is especially important as we shift to renewable energy.
Absolutely. We're talking about a sustainable future.
And those technologies.
They need these materials.
Yeah, they need these materials to work.
If we want a successful energy transition, we need a stable supply.
So biotech could be a key player in all of this.
I think so.
Climate change, energy independence. It's pretty amazing how these solutions can impact so many things.
It really is. And the exciting part is we're just getting started.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before we get lost in the future,
Okay.
let's bring it back to the present.
Sure.
We've talked about phytomining and biomining.
Yeah.
But what else is on the horizon? What's being cooked up in the labs?
Well, one area with huge potential is biomanufacturing. Scientists are looking at using microorganisms to actually produce the materials.
But so we could actually grow these materials?
Yeah.
Instead of mining them? That sounds wild.
It's definitely cutting edge.
Right.
But imagine using bacteria or algae to make rare earth elements.
That's crazy. So we're turning biology into a factory.
Kind of, yeah. It could revolutionize how we get these materials.
Make it more sustainable.
More efficient, too, potentially.
What are the challenges with scaling all of this up, making it commercially viable?
Well, one challenge is just optimizing the efficiency.
All right.
We need to make sure that biomining and phytomining and biomanufacturing can produce at scale.
And at a cost that...
And at a cost that makes sense.
Compared to...
Exactly, compared to traditional methods.
And what about the environmental impact? Are there downsides we should be thinking about?
It's a good point. While these approaches are generally more sustainable, we need to do proper assessments.
Yeah, to make sure.
Yeah, to identify and mitigate any risks.
We don't want to create new problems while solving old ones.
Exactly. It's about responsible innovation.
So we need to be cautious. But it sounds like biotech is offering some real hope in a world that's becoming so reliant on these materials.
I agree. It really shows how we can use nature to create a better future.
And for our listeners all over the world,
Yeah.
this is their chance to be a part of this.
It's not just for scientists and researchers.
Yeah, it's for all of us.
We need everyone to be asking questions and demanding solutions.
And benefit everyone and the planet.
Exactly. Whether you're in Brazil or India or South Africa, this matters to all of us.
So we need to think globally, but act locally.
I like
Right. And support innovations that are sustainable.
and promote equal access.
Yeah. So what can people do to get involved? What are some practical steps?
Well, first, stay informed. Learn about critical materials and these biotech solutions. Keep up with it all.
That's what the deep dive is all about.
Exactly. And support companies and organizations that are pioneering this stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to your local communities and governments. Advocate for policies that make sense.
And our choices matter too.
Absolutely.
What we buy, how we recycle.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Yeah, it all adds up. It's amazing to think about, how our everyday choices can
Make a difference.
yet contribute to making things more sustainable.
For sure.
And we've been focusing on the tech side of things.
Yeah.
But there's also that
Human element.
that human side to all of this.
It's so important. We can't forget that behind all of this, the innovation, the science, there are people who are driving this forward.
And that's what makes this so exciting. It's not just these abstract ideas. It's people coming together to solve problems.
To make things better.
Yeah, for themselves and for the future.
And it's happening all over the world.
It really is. Researchers working together, entrepreneurs starting companies.
New ideas everywhere.
It feels like a real turning point. Like science and technology and human ingenuity are all coming together
To change how we do things.
to change how we interact with the planet and its resources.
It's a huge shift. And it's happening right now.
And the best part is,
Yeah.
we're only just getting started.
This is just the beginning.
That's what I love about the deep dive. We get to explore all these crazy topics.
And share them with our listeners.
Yeah, all over the world.
I love being a part of it.
So to everyone listening,
In Brazil, India, South Africa, everywhere.
we hope this deep dive got you thinking about critical materials and biotechnology and the future.
Remember, the future is something we create together.
So stay informed, stay
And
engaged.
stay empowered.
We can all do our part to build a better future for everyone.
I think that's a great place to end it.
On that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here.
Right.
Keep learning. Keep asking questions.
Keep pushing for change.
And until next time, keep diving deep.